Hello everyone and welcome. This is the Silent K and today we're playing MegaMek. However, unfortunately, I don't know if you remember, but at the end of last week's stream, I saved the game under the file name Assassinate 3 because it was the third Assassinate mission. But it didn't save. By the way, before we get started, I do have a couple of shoutouts. We've got new followers on YouTube. We've got JW100, Apocalypse Dan, and Thomas B, I believe it was. Thomas B. Thomas B or Thomas D. And also a big congratulations to Varenk and his daughter. She's getting married. So he's getting ready for that. Big shout out and congratulations there. So yeah. Yes, yay for new followers. The channel grows. So we're picking up hopefully right where we left off. I think I've got the paranoid autosave turned on, so we shouldn't have lost much in the way of progress. That said, I haven't had much of a chance to really review the situation as it was. I did rewatch last week's episode, except for the last little bit because I ran out of time. However, this looks pretty much like I remember it. We've got, looks like a stunned and immobile pack rat over here. We've got the SRM carrier, which is immobile with a dead crew. I don't remember killing the crew, but I'll take it. We've got a locked and immobile Maxim over here stacked with a foot platoon, and we've got our target, which is a bulldog, the one here in solid red, which hasn't taken any damage yet. But hopefully we can change that soon. We've got reinforcements approaching from the south. Where is my mini map? Under view? I thought it was under view. Ah, there it is. Okay, so yeah, we're the green blips, our allies are the blue blips, and the red blips, of course, are the enemy. So this is the kind of tactical overview of the situation right now. We've got very much intermingling going on right here, where we've taken some back shots. Our archer took a hit from a Saladin, which is now dead. We've got an Atlas and a Banshee over here chasing down these three tracked vehicles and kind of moving towards the northeastern part of this formation. And we've got our four heavies moving in from the south here. Let's see, how much can I shrink this? That works for me. Oh, that does not quite work for me because first I have to replace all the players with Princess. All the players, all 5 of them. Hopefully I can do it all in one click. Okay, so the Bulldog is falling back, it looks like. We'll go ahead and respond to that by advancing with the quick draw at a running pace, I think. It doesn't put us in medium range with anything, but we've got long range on the Bulldog at least, with 1 laser. Just out of range with the mediums, unfortunately. But yeah, that's our move there. We've got the Warhammer 6ML being piloted by Scarponi, also advancing at a run, trying to get those PPCs in action. Again, nothing at medium range. We've got the Maxim at long range. We've got the Bulldog at long range too. It might be the shot that we take. So let's see, the SRM carrier is no longer a threat. Yeah, I think it's time to start flanking down this way. I don't think the Vedette or the Galleon are very threatening either. Looks like Earl Sinclair's Atlas is currently overheating, so he's only got the 2-3 movement profile. So he's not going very far this turn. I'm just glad I don't have to worry about turning my back on that SRM carrier, to be honest. That was a pretty major consideration up until the point that it died. Is he fleeing? If he's fleeing, I think I'm gonna let him get away. Let's see. Let's go ahead and move the Marauder up since... Do we run at a sprint? We've got extreme range on the Maxim and the foot platoon. That's an immobile Maxim, so we might actually get some hits at that range. Or do we go ahead and sprint and try to bring the pulse lasers into range next turn? I think that's going to be the sprint from the Marauder. Orion has LRMs and an LBX, so what are we looking at here as far as range? Nothing in medium range, except the Maxim for the LRMs, which might be a shot worth taking, so we'll go ahead and not rule that out by sprinting. Let's see, the Rifleman, I think I want you... You've taken some damage, but not too much. I remember you took a PPC to that right arm from, I think, the Grand Dragon. But yeah, Rifleman is definitely more of a support mech, not a brawler, so I kind of want to get some distance there. Same thing with the Banshee. The Banshee is definitely more of a long-range attacker, but with all these woods in the way, I think it might be worth advancing. To see if we can maybe get eyes on this Manticore after he moves, or something. There was a Manticore that had taken some damage, and I don't think it's that one. I think there was another Manticore around here somewhere. Or maybe I'm misremembering. But I could have sworn that we had hit a Manticore with something at some point. Oh, no, this is the Manticore that we hit a little bit on the left side. So yeah, what's his movement profile actually? He is a 4-6. He's not as slow as I was hoping, but he shouldn't be able to get out of our LOS if we go here, I don't think. See, we've got the Wolverine, which I think we want to save for last. We've got the Archer with the badly damaged leg and the open left torso as well, and the open rear right torso. Wow, this Wyvern, or this Archer piloted by Wyvern is in really rough shape. Not as mobile as I would like. Might be time to fall back and fall out. At a whopping 3 hexes per turn, it's going to take him a little while to get off the board. Alright, so just the Wolverine is left. We've got a Warhammer here that hasn't been answered to yet, as well as this Skulker, which is soft on its left side. It only gives us 6 movement of evasion, which is only +2. I'd like to get a +3. We could jump it. We wouldn't be as close. We can get short-range shots on the Warhammer with our medium lasers. Or let's go for the Skulker first, and then the Warhammer next. Oh, the Valkyrie is moving into melee range. That's probably not a good idea on his part. And the Hunter is falling out. The Griffin has ejected, falling unconscious at the same time. I don't remember how badly damaged the Griffin was, but I didn't think it was bad enough that it was going to have to eject. We've got 6s on the Skulker. I think we're going to go ahead and take that with everything since we can. Man, I love double heat sinks. We've got 4s on the Maxim versus 8s on the foot platoon, but they're out in the open, and if I recall, LBXs do relatively well against foot platoons. And that foot platoon has all 28 people left. Maxim is still relatively well armored, except on the rear, which I don't think we're likely to hit. And again, that platoon is less of a threat. The Maxim has LRMs and SRMs. The platoon's only a threat if you get within 4 hexes of it with that flamer. We're gonna go for rear shots on the Maxim. Yeah. We're gonna do that on 5s. And we've got a 3 with the LRM. And that is nothing in range of the mediums. See, starting with the Banshee, because the Banshee has all the PVCs. LBX good against infantry. Okay. Does the company have anything else with single heat sinks? No. I think that Wolverine that we upgraded from was the last thing in active use that had single heat sinks. I think we're all running double heat sinks now. Unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure everyone's got doubles. We've got 9s on the Warhammer, 7s on the Skulker, but I don't expect the Skulker to survive the onslaught from the Wolverine. We could alternately... Oh, Cadet is not quite in our arc. We've got the Manticore over here on 9s. Yeah, I guess that's gonna be the Warhammer on 9s. Unless maybe we get a lucky crit with a cluster munition on an 8. That'd be just perfect. Actually, let's hold off on that until we fire some mediums. We'll go up to 2 heat, I think. Yeah. We've got a 5 on the Manticore. With the cluster munitions, even on the front, I feel like the cluster munitions are liable to hit a fuel tank or something. We'll save that. We'll go 6s and 8s with the mediums and the large. We'll hold off on the missile. Well, we'll hold off on one of the mediums so that we can get the SRM there. And then we'll go up to 2 heat for the LBX. Let's see. We've got a buttload of SRMs with no other targets. Taking back shots from the Bulldog, who needs, ouch, 10s and 6s and 8s. And those SRMs are going to be crit seeking on that rear torso. That's not good. At least we don't have an XL engine. We're probably going to lose some SRMs. Maybe some... Oh, wait. Do we have ammo in that right torso? Yeah, we've got 2 full bins of ammo in that right torso. We could very well be about to lose our archer. Let's start using that ammo bin as much as possible. Maybe we'll survive. But we can't afford to overheat. That would bring our movement profile to 1-2, and that is not gonna do. So we're gonna have to hold off on the last 2 SRM launchers, even on 4s. We need to take out this Bulldog before he can do any more damage too. The Warhammer has shots on 11s or 10s. 5s. I don't think the Maxim is much of a threat. Yeah, I think 10s on the Bulldog is the best we're gonna get. We'll go ahead and take those shots. And we've got 8s with Yarvik. Yeah, we'll go up to 10 heat, or 4 heat on a 10. The quick draw, oh, there's a Scorpion now. We've got him on 9s and I think 11s. Or we've got the Bulldog on 10s. 10s are really, really long odds. So we'll go ahead and take the 9s and some 11s. We'll do it like that. We'll keep one medium laser out of the action just so we don't build up too much heat. Medical Shogun, you sprinted this turn if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no firing for you. Alright. So the Bulldog missing on 12s. That is the designated target. Missing everything on 12s at the Drillson. Wolverine taking out the Skulker with his first shot. Everything else is overkill. Orion at the Maxim, hitting him in the right side with that LB-10X, and then following that up with 9 LRMs all to the right side, stunning the crew and critting on one of the SRM2s, leaving him with 4 structure, but the Maxim is still active. Will be next turn anyways. Or turn after next. Next turn, he's going to be stunned. Let's see, the Vedette hitting our Atlas in the right torso for 5, the Banshee hitting the Warhammer and the right arm for 10, and then following that up with a hit to the right torso with a medium laser, down to 12 armor there. The Bulldog at the Archer did land an SRM on that damaged right leg, down to 2 structure remaining. Very much needing to get out of the fight at this point before he takes any more damage to that right leg. Even a machine gun. And he's out of edge now too. Taking damage to the center torso rear and left torso rear from those SRMs. Oh, there it goes. The autocannon 2 hits the right leg and Wyvern is going down. And he's probably going to be staying down. Atlas at the Manticore, hitting it in the front with the large laser, missing with all the mediums, hitting with 6 clusters of the LB-10X, hitting it in the front and the left side a bunch, and the front some more. The left side costing it some driving skill roll penalties, but not hitting a fuel tank or ammo like I was hoping for. Wyvern getting his last standing shot off on the Manticore, hitting it in the right side with some SRMs, immobilizing it. Mostly motive damage, stunning the crew, immobilized again, stunned again. Crew stunned for 3 turns, and the right side is down to 3 armor. So that's pretty overwhelming firepower, not quite enough to take it out. Vedette hitting the Atlas in the left torso for 5, down to 20 armor there. Warhammer missing on 10s, that's our Warhammer, missing on 10s. Our Rifleman at the Bulldog hitting it in the front and immobilizing it, hitting it in the right side, down to 15 armor there after that autocannon 5 hit. Scorpion missing on a 10, quick draw at the Scorpion, hitting it in the front with a large laser, down to 1 armor there, and missing with everything else on 11s. The Skulker at the Centurion, missing on a 7. The Warhammer at the Centurion, missing on 8s and 10s. The Valkyrie missing the Warhammer on an 8. The Grand Dragon hitting Wyvern in the center torso rear with a PPC, down to 20 structure there, but no crit. The Vedette missing the Grand Dragon on a 7. The Manticore landing a PPC on our Atlas's left arm, and 5 SRMs splashing around. Down to 14 armor on that left arm now. The Drillson, our allied Drillson at the enemy Bulldog, designated target, hitting it in the turret with a large laser, down to 12 armor there, and hitting it with 4 SRMs to the front and left side, turret and left side, costing it a movement point. Which means that he is going to be down to a 3-5 movement profile next turn. Hunter missing the Atlas on an 8. The Centurion at the our allied Centurion at the enemy Vedette, hitting it in the turret with an autocannon 10. The Centurion AL at the Grand Dragon, hitting it in the right arm with a large laser, down to 6 armor there. Medium laser glancing off the left leg. LRM 10 hitting 3 out of 10 to the center torso, down to 24 armor. Earl Sinclair needs a 6 to stay standing because he took 20 plus damage, gets a 7. Wyvern goes down, takes 5 to the left arm and 2 to the left torso, all of which goes internal. Down to 8 structure on the arm, 10 on the left torso. Needs a 10 to avoid damage, needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets an 8. The Grand Dragon kicks our Wolverine and misses. The Warhammer kicks the Vedette in the front, costing it half of its movement points. Grand Dragon stays standing after missing a kick. Our Alice is at 2 heat, Wyvern is at 2 heat, Rifleman is at 4 heat. Banshee is at 2 heat, Quick Draw is at 2 heat, so we're pushing a bit, not too hard yet. The friendly Centurions are at 0 and 1 heat. Our House Officer is at 0 heat. The Grand Dragon, enemy Grand Dragon is at 8. The Warhammer is at 3. We've lost initiative going into round 8, and not only that, we've lost initiative within our team, so we are going first. That kind of sucks. We're at 92% of our forces. Our allies are at 97. Primary outforce down to 46, and the designated target is finally down to 88%. Alright, so starting with our reinforcements, we've got Tentacle Shogun advancing 5 hexes at a run. Should be in range this turn. We've got the Orion advancing 6 hexes at a run. We've got Scarponi and his Warhammer 6ML advancing. We can advance at a walk and still, I think, take out this immobile Maxim this turn. Yeah, that should be almost a guaranteed hit, I think, with the -4 modifier. Got a Scorpion over here, or we could advance on the Bulldog. Bulldog's only taken major damage to the turret so far. Not that well armored to begin with. Let me see. What else have we got that we can do in the meantime? We've got Petra can advance this way on the Grand Dragon and the Warhammer and the Bulldog. Wyvern, who is now a 110 movement profile, might be looking to eject this turn. Excuse me, sorry. Nervous habit. Darvik. I want to pick up this pilot, but I don't know. Maybe pick up this pilot. Maybe backshots on the Warhammer, depending on what he does. Carpathice, hi, how are you? Glad you could join us. Things are going mostly well. We've got an archer here that's missing a leg and is prone and has taken plenty of back damage. Fortunately hasn't had an ammo explosion yet, but might be about to eject. Yeah, Princess does hate the archers. She really does. Other than that, I'm doing well. I've been really busy at work lately. Today is actually my first day off since last Thursday when I streamed. Which was something I wanted to actually bring up earlier. I'm sorry for not being more active in the Discord this week, but I have literally worked every day since then. So my apologies for that. Go ahead and advance there. Got a Centurion against this Vedette. I think he can handle that. Stunned, locked, and immobile Manticore. I'm thinking maybe Wyvern. Check this armor setup here. We've got nothing on the left side, nothing on the right side rear, center torso rear. Right leg is gone. If we turn to the right, the only ones in our rear arc are this Maxim and this Hunter. And the Bulldog and the Scorpion. And depending on what the Grand Dragon does, he might end up in our rear arc. I don't want anyone in my rear arc right now. But if I were to turn this way, that puts everyone in my left arc. I don't like that either. Got no armor on that left side. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead. We'll finish off this Manticore that's stunned, locked, and immobile. Or we ignore him and go after our primary target. That might be the move. Once we take out that Bulldog, we can call the mission. Yeah, we're just gonna gang tackle that Bulldog and try to finish this mission, I think, as fast as possible at this point. Wolverine is gonna try to remain as evasive as possible, and that means jumping 5 into a heavy woods. And Wyvern... we turn to the right. The Grand Dragon would only have to reverse himself 2 or 3 hexes to be into our rear arc if we do that. Still got the Hunter and both Bulldogs in that direction. I think it's time to eject. Needs a 6. I don't like to do it. I'd be real upset if a Thunderbolt comes along and busts out a machine gun on us. Why not kick the Manticore but shoot the Bulldog? I thought about that, but I really wanted that second pip of evasion. And I figured, depending on what the Bulldog did, yeah, I thought about getting into melee range of the Manticore, but I really wanted to be as close as possible in this direction. That meant moving 1 more hex. The Manticore is in rough shape already. I figured someone else could handle him if need be. Someone perhaps like Petra. Or does Petra want to start wailing on this Warhammer over here? Petra also has a Grand Dragon coming in, trying to catch her in the rear arc. Yeah, I think we're going to try to knock over this Warhammer with the 4-6 pilot. And we can do it on 6s. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and unload 30 points of damage at that face. Actually, on 6s, we'll skip one of the PCs so that we can bust out a bunch of medium lasers. And the SRMs can only be at 1. Thunderbolt Stompa pilot. I was referring to when Murdoch ejected and got machine gunned down by a Thunderbolt. I'll have it out for them ever since then. So let's see. Obviously, Captain French cannot take any shots. Marauder at the foot platoon, I think. Sevens with the medium pulses. Actually, did we want to take out this Maxim real quick? Still got 8 SRMs. That's a flamer foot platoon, which is, yeah, we're gonna go for the Maxim, and we're gonna be shooting him. Excuse me. We're gonna be shooting him in the right side, and we should have all we need to do it right there. We'll follow it up with an SRM, just for some crit seeking. Oh, the Vedette is shooting random guy in the rear. That's that's not going to be super effective. We've got the Bulldog on 7s. In the rear, yeah, we'll go ahead and bust out some cluster munitions on his rear arc. Extra likely to hit his fuel tank or something sensitive. We are in his rear arc, right? Or are we in his side? I know that if it was a mech, we would be in his side arc, but I think tank arcs are different. I think. Either way, we're shooting him in either the side or the rear, and that's going to be medium lasers on 12s. It's going to be the LRM on an 8, and the LBX on a 7, putting us at 2 heat. Yarvik at the Bulldog, I think. Can we hit it in the front? No, I want to hit it in the right side. We've got 3s on him. I think we'll skip the other large. We'll go with the 2 autocannons and the 2 mediums to put us at 1 heat. Let's see, we've got 6s on their Warhammer. Might as well go ahead and take all of those. Puts us at 2 heat, even though we jumped. I'm really liking this Wolverine build. It is so heat neutral. Platoon on 7s. I feel like the Maxim is going down this turn. Got the Hunter, we've got a Bulldog and a Scorpion over here. I feel like that Bulldog is going down. We've got the Manticore over here. On 5s, actually. That's not bad. And we can target his right side, which is weak. Yeah, we'll try and take out that Manticore with some long-range fire. It's heat neutral, it doesn't have enough weapons. It's not quite heat neutral. If it jumps and fires everything, it builds up 2 points of heat. And I want a mech that can jump and fire everything every turn. So it's not quite heat neutral. Only when it runs. And even then, it's still only dropping 1 point of heat. So that's our long-range fire at the Manticore. What else? What other targets have we got? We can do a secondary target on the Maxim. Just to try to make absolutely sure that he's dead. Hitting him in the right side on 6s. And yeah, that puts us at 18 of 20 heat. The Orion always runs cool. Now the Orion is a mech that I wouldn't mind throwing more guns on. But the only thing I can think of that would make it better would be dropping the SRM-4 for some medium lasers. And that seems a little spammy. I like the Orion as it is. I like the combination of crit seeking, long range, short range, punch. It does everything pretty well, I think. Let's see, the quick draw came up here to attack the Bulldog, which is going to be on his left side. It's going to be 8s and 10s. Maybe we'll hit. Oof. We won't fire one of the mediums, but I do want to fire the SRMs, because you never know when having ammo out of the bin will help you. We've got a pair of PPCs that aren't doing anything yet. We've got the Bulldog on 9s. Yeah, we'll take those odds. We'll take the Maxim as a secondary target on 7s. Just to be heat neutral. That Maxim is so dead, with 3 mechs firing on it. Alright, Banshee hits the Warhammer in the left arm with a PPC. That's the arm that we did not hit earlier, so now both of his arms have taken PPC fire. Following that up with a medium laser to the left arm, down to 5 armor there. Medium lasers to the right torso and right leg, down to 7 and 10 armor in those locations. Left arm with another medium laser, down to 0 armor there, and then 2 SRMs to the left leg and left torso. Marauder at the Maxim, first shot to the right side takes it out. So that's going to be a lot of wasted fire on that Maxim. Vedette missing the Atlas on an 11. The Atlas hitting the Bulldog in the right side, costing it a driving skill penalty, leaving it with 12 armor. All the mediums missing on 12s. The LRM's missing on an 8. And the LB-10X hitting with 6 pellets to the rear and front somehow, immobilizing it and jamming the turret. So yeah, that Bulldog is going down next turn. I can guarantee that. Let's see. Actually, we've crippled and immobilized our primary target, and we've brought the primary op for down to below 50%. I think we can call victory right now. And honestly, though, is there any reason to call victory prematurely? Because our only mech that was badly damaged has ejected now and is no longer a valid target. Anyway, Rifleman at the Bulldog, the AC2 Bulldog, hitting it in the turret with a large and an autocannon, down to 7 armor there. The other autocannon and mediums, both mediums to the right side, leaving it with 0 armor there. Bulldog at the quick draw, landing 2 SRMs to the right leg and left torso. Wolverine at the Warhammer, hitting it in the right arm with the large laser, the left arm with a medium laser, 2 medium lasers, critting on the shoulder, and a 3rd medium laser to the left arm, destroying it and transferring it to the left torso, down to 11 armor there. Hitting with 4 out of 6 SRMs to the left torso, center torso, yeah, 3 to the left torso and 1 to the center, down to 5 armor on that left torso. The Vedette missing the Atlas on a 10. The Orion at the Manticore, hitting it in the right side with the LBX and destroying it, and then immobilizing it with the LRMs. The quick draw at the Bulldog, hitting it in the front, hitting it in the left side with 2 mediums, 3 mediums, down to 1 armor. Scorpion at the quick draw, hitting it in the left torso with an autocannon 5. The Warhammer at the designated target. Oh, we got the kill. That was PPC to the left side. Destroyed the designated target. That is mission completed. Victory to save the pilot? Yeah, I think we're going to declare victory now. The enemy Warhammer firing on our allied Centurion, hitting it in the right torso with a PPC and the right arm with the other one, missing with both machine guns on 12s. The Valkyrie at the Manticore, hitting it in the turret for 5, alarms to the turret and right side. Grand Dragon hitting the Centurion AL in the center torso with a lucky through armor crit, getting it in the gyro. Centurion AL is going down most likely. The Vedette at the Manticore, hitting it in the right side. The Drillson at the Grand Dragon, glancing blows with 2 SRMs to the right leg and left arm, and the left torso rear, down to 6 armor there. The Centurion A, missing on 7s and 11s. Centurion AL missing on 5s, and then the small laser hitting it for 1 damage to the right leg. Bulldog missing the Atlas on a 12. Centurion with the gyro hit, needs a 9 to stay standing, only gets a 7, takes 5 to the left damage from falling, needs a 9 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets the 9. Enemy Warhammer took 60 plus damage, needs a 9 to stay standing, gets a 5, takes 7 damage to the left leg but no crit, needs a 9 to avoid hurting the pilot, and needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets it with a 6. We're not going to step on the pilot. Okay. Our house officer got a kill. He killed he kicked the AC2 Bulldog in the right side, destroying it. The allied Centurion kicks the enemy Vedette in the turret for 10, down to 0 armor there. And the Grand Dragon kicks our Banshee in the right leg for 12. Does not knock him down. Pilot Altamore needs a 10 to wake up. Stays unconscious and has now been picked up by the Rifleman. How? I'm not sure, because the Rifleman has no arms. And that is where we are calling it victory. All enemies declare defeat. Yes, we want to save salvage. We always do. So Earl Sinclair got 2 kills. Yarvik got 1. Petra got 1. Vernita got 1. Nairn Limbrick got 1 kill. Scarponi got a kill. Tentacle Shogun got a kill. Our allied Drillson got 2 kills. And our house officer got a kill in the Valkyrie. That's impressive. None of the enemies are going to have gotten kills because, well, the only one of ours that died and went down ejected, so that doesn't count as a kill. Did we control the battlefield? No, in this situation we got in, we killed our target, and we got out. Or... yeah, we didn't clear the board, so we don't control the battlefield. The Archer is inoperable, it's going to need a new cockpit, and it is not a total loss. Well, we don't control the battlefield, no. We are not taking a total loss on the Archer. We've got recovery units for that. And our recovery units are faster than the enemies. So we get the salvage. Or at least of our own. Man, that thing is in rough shape too. So many black X's. Alright, Wyvern took 1 hit. Everyone else is in good condition. The Packrat and the Bulldog, I think those were killed by our allies. The foot platoons were not killed by us. Pilot Altamore was not killed, she was picked up. No one killed the Archer. Griffin ejected. Alright, destroy 100%. Bulldog completed. Preserve 100%. Valkyrie completed. Preserve 50% completed. That is a resounding victory. I don't know if I want to call it a decisive victory, but it was a solid victory. Alright, first things first. In the infirmary, we've got Wyvern, who has a bruise on his right leg. We've got nothing in the repair bay yet. We've got... oh, we do have some stuff in the warehouse that we could be working on. We could try to repair these arrow heat sinks on 6s. We could try to repair this AC-20. On a 2, yeah, we'll take that. Go ahead. What am I doing? Okay, yeah. All of our mechs have been recovered. So that's all well and good. They won't be back for another, what, couple of days? Our deployment period is 2 days. They deployed yesterday, so they should be back tomorrow. Let's see, we got no repairs to do just yet, so I think we can just go ahead and advance the day. I know we didn't get any salvage, so the unmaintained units are the same ones we had before. Maintenance on the Sholigar, nice. Maintenance on the Dig King, also improving, very nice. Still salvaging the engine out of the Lightning, still salvaging the fire control system out of the Saber. Grasshopper is down to less than 4,000 minutes, so that's under 10 days. Now our repair bay is full. We get any of these green techs to do anything on less than an 8? Nope, it's all 8s. Alright, the Rifleman. Who is going to be reloading? Was that Ratnabala? I think that was Ratnavala was doing our reloading. She's only got 4 XP compared to everyone else has 6 or more. Oh, the Orion didn't take any damage at all. That's nice. Reloads. Atlas took a little bit of a beating and needs some reloads. Archer needs a hatchet. That's not going to happen. Got the SRM6 ammo bin for the Wolverine, needs reloading. We've got the SRM4 ammo on the quick draw. Got 3 ammo bins on the Banshee, 270 minutes. On to 225 minutes. And down to 210 minutes. Alright, now that we don't have a scroll bar in our repair bay, we can start working on fixing up this armor that got damaged. And who do we want doing that? We want more elite techs, so we want Fred Modry doing all the little jobs we can. On 4s, yeah, we'll take a 4. Oh, he failed, but he gained an XP. And right now I'm going to have him doing everything that's 30 minutes or less. We'll have people with less XP doing everything that's 30 minutes or more. Sixes? I don't like 6s. We'll do a rush job there for a 4. We'll do 20 minutes. We'll do 10 minutes on a 5, sure. Alright, so that leaves Tamalika with 60 minutes. She can knock this out real quick. 100 minutes. I can go to, I guess, Guillaume. 35 minutes. Oh, Guillaume is an armor specialist. I did not realize. Still, I want Fred Modry doing all the quick and easy jobs. 18 minutes, that's going to leave him with 2 minutes, which I don't like, but it is what it is. Fred Modry on a 7, ouch. No. Alright, and then we'll have, I guess, Halima. No. Veronica has almost half enough XP. Susan is also right there. "55 minutes. I love it when it works out nicely. We've got Veronica. Yes. Where did Veronica go? There she is. That's going to be times 4 for 100 minutes. It's going to be times 3, I think, for 180 minutes. We'll have Fred Modry knock that out on 5 real quick. Hatchet, we know. This armor was Veronica working on that. Alright, now the Wyvern, or the Archer, piloted by Wyvern. We've got center torso damage that we're going to want max time on. We've got the right torso. Got the left torso. Got the left arm. Go ahead and put those at times 4 so that we can have a green tech do that. We'll have, what are we waiting on? 2 repairable parts in the right leg need to be salvaged or scrapped. That's those 2 actuators. The cockpit is always going to be a times 4 job. Alright, Shada can do that one. Salman can do that one. Now we can have Chris go the right leg on a 6, hopefully by tomorrow. Penny actually doesn't need to spend ×4 time on the cockpit. But I don't feel like losing a cockpit, so that's still going to be 900 minutes. That's going to be a 4-day job, but 4 days to get the Archer up and running from the state that it was in, I'd call that a win. Got some armor to be replaced as well. The Loney on the center torso. B on the right torso, which doesn't need to bleed into tomorrow. Got the left torso. I guess we can have Fred do that. It'll carry over into tomorrow, but I don't think that's a big deal. And the left arm, we'll have Halima. How much time does Halima actually have? Find our mech techs, find Halima. She actually has only 180 minutes a day. But yeah, I don't want her. Well, 360, 540, that's a 3-day job. That can overlap with the cockpit. Yeah, we can do that. Let's see, I guess Veronica can do these 2 armor jobs on 4s, knocks out 90 minutes for her. We've got V can knock out this armor. Loney can knock out this armor. Can we knock it out on a 6? Yes, we can. Nice. We've got a couple of SRM hits, looks like. How about we double up? I don't like taking chances on a 6 when there's 22 armor points on the line. Alright, that's everything we can be working on right now. Hangar, let's go to status. Everything's in the transport bay? Yeah, everything's in the transport bay. It's unusual. Usually it goes straight into a field workshop. Alright, moving on to Friday. Oh, Friday, October 1st, which means a lot happens. First of all, the unit market is updated. We could pick up a Stalker 3F, which, I don't know if you know this, but I really like Stalker 3Fs. That combat computer just makes it so powerful. Especially once you throw in some double heat sinks and max out the armor. Is it worth 7 million C-bills to us? Considering it's usually a 7.5 million C-bills, I don't think a 500,000 C-bills off is making it worth it to get a Stalker. We're saving up. We've got a Marauder 3R, a couple fire starters, a Blackjack, that's interesting. Commando, a couple Stingers. No, nothing interesting enough to want. Enemy morale is now low, which is good. It means we'll get fewer missions, and hopefully we can get them down to route next month. Well, even if we get them down to route next month, I think we have to keep them there until December. And that means we're only getting out of the mission 5 days early. We do have a new scenario, special mission, Starling Cache 1 will occur on October 2nd. Yes, indeed it will. We've got a Wasp, a Spider, and a Mongoose, and a Clint on our side. I'm assuming that's a single unit scenario. It is. So I'm guessing that these are the light mech opponents, and if we throw in a medium or heavy, we'll get different opponents than those. But might be worth doing anyways. Lots of people have gained XP, including Lieutenant MekHQ, who is now not enough. No, he needs 10. What else we got? Mostly privates, which is fine. Some corporals. Wow, that's an Jeanette Maria Christina von Munich. Corporals, privates, petty officer. Got a petty officer? Oh, vessel crew member with no vessel. I see a sergeant there, but that's basically just a upgunned private. Maintenance on the Stuka. Armor went down to C, which is, I guess, fine. Everything else is coming up gradually. We got the left torso on the Archer. The left arm is going to be a bit. Let's see. Still working on getting the fusion engine out of the Lightning and the fire control out of the Saber. We did get the right leg on the Archer, and Chris gained an XP for that. Is that enough? That's not enough. Veronica has enough to pick up a specialty if she wanted. Something like, I don't know, Tech Specialist Armor, or Mr. or Mrs. Fix-It, or Tech Specialist Weapon. I know those are all unofficial, but I mean, techs don't have a lot they can spend their XP on, so I'm kind of in favor of the unofficial XP special abilities for techs. Still working on the cockpit, still working on the grasshopper. We got paid 25 million. Mr. and Mrs. Fix-It is good. I agree, especially in the early days when you have a hard time keeping your stuff in good shape. As it is now, most of our stuff is actually at level C and above. Mr. and Mrs. Fix-It has been coming in handy less and less often as our mechs get better in quality. That said, we already have a Mrs. Fix-It. I think it's B. Let me check. MekTech. Oh, it was Chris as Mrs. Fix-It. We've got Guillaume is a tech specialist for armor. Other than that, it's just Edge that I think anyone has. Yeah, she's got an Edge. She does not. She should. I wish she would. But I'd rather have an elite tech than a veteran tech with an Edge. Excuse me. Let's see. No Edge, no Edge. Lonnie has an Edge. B does not, actually. Yeah, Lonnie. Okay, yeah. I don't know if I want to take a specialist or want to save up to just be a better tech. I think I want to just save up to be a better tech. So yeah. Other than that, I think all we've got left for today is repairs. Oh, that was supposed to be a regular. Repairing that actuator. Okay, let's do it on a 2 then. You insist. Fred Modry can go ahead and knock out this armor, gain another XP trying. And a 3. Yeah, okay. So Archer is almost in shape again. Let's see. Fred French is going to be in the infirmary for another 1 day. So yeah, we've got Special Mission Star League Cache 1 starting today. Deploy a force from your TO and E. Fix left arm on the archer, fixed. Cockpit is still being worked on. Cockpit will be done tomorrow. So that's one mech that we don't have the option of using. So who do we send on this mission? We don't have any light mechs in our forces. So we're pretty much guaranteed to be facing something bigger and tougher than these three mechs. I know that we have a medium mech or two. Of course, we could send Petra. Let's see what that does to the enemy forces. Oh, a Stalker, an Atlas, and a Hatamoto Chi. That's a little overwhelming. Even if they are all relatively bad pilots, and our allies remain a Clint. So I don't think we want Petra taking this mission on. Maybe we send a medium mech. Let's see, we've got the Cronus, we've got the Blackjack, or we've got where did it go? The Wolverine. Let me try the Wolverine, or we could do the Cronus. Yeah, let's try the Cronus, see how that looks. Something with jump jets. Both bought super glue for the archer. Yes, we did. Several thousand C-bills worth of super glue. Okay. So a Cronus against a Phoenix Hawk, an Assassin, and a Sentinel. That to me seems a lot more reasonable than, what was it, a Stalker, an Atlas, and something else big. So medium mech is an option. Honestly, the Cronus is probably going to be our best bet, but what do we have in the way of heavies? Let's try just seeing. This is probably going to be kind of overwhelming as well. We're probably going to end up going with a medium. A Grand Dragon, an Archer, and a Catapult. All with relatively bad pilots. Now, this Archer does have jump jets. So it does qualify as something good. But I'm thinking we're gonna go with the medium, just because that seems the least one-sided. Alright, well, we've got Pitch Black, Clear and Calm. Nap is Brian Cash, 20 by 35, Light Urban. We need to destroy, cripple, or force withdrawal of all of the enemies and ensure that at least one unit from our forces survives. Oh, and we also have to make sure that our Clint survives. So we have to protect him. Winner controls the battlefield. Alright. Pitch Black. Alright, Clint, you are... we're working for Davian right now, right? Or Federated... What are we working for right now? It's Federated Commonwealth, right? Yeah. We'll go with this blue and gold. Just, wait, no. Cancel. Not what we meant to do. Let's back out and try that again. Misclicked again. Federated Commonwealth, we're going with blue and gold. All right. So it's us against them. They outmass us by 95 versus 135. So yeah, they outmass us by about 40 tons. No, 30 tons. Yeah. However, as far as battle value goes, I think we've got them licked. We've won initiative. Our tech has actually won an initiative. We're deploying in the center. This is the Brian Cash map. It looks like just a regular small town. I think we're going to start here, and we're going to immediately back up and try to get us a little space. Even though our mech is definitely more of a backstabber. Oh, they deployed in the north. And we're going to have to rush to save that Clint. Target. Oh, that's blocked by terrain. Okay, the Clint, our friendly Clint, hits the Sentinel in the left torso for 5, down to 5 armor there. Everyone else missing on 12s. Wow, Clint only needed a 7. Nice. Not going to physical attack the building. Phoenix Hawk is at 4 heat, everyone else is at 0. We've already cost them almost a whole % of their forces. I like the backup though, light mechs. Oh boy. Yeah, I would like to get at least a lance of more mobile mechs involved in our forces. I want a 4th lance, a recon lance that's gonna be on the lighter side. I'm thinking maybe an assassin. I don't know. I hadn't figured it out just yet, but 13. Yeah, I like assassins. They're super evasive when they want to be. We've got 8s on the Sentinel, 9s on the Phoenix Hawk. Let's go for the Sentinel on an 8. Throw in some 12s. Maybe we'll hit with something. Sentinel misses the Clint. The Phoenix Hawk misses on 11s. The Cronus missing on 8s and 12s. The Assassin missing on 11s. The Clint missing on 8s and 9s. So that was a round where nothing happened. The Phoenix Hawk is now at 8 heat. The Assassin is at 2. Now we've got Hopping Jack, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So we want to be just all up in their grill. I think the Awesome is too mobile. That's a matter of opinion, and one that I don't think I share. I like mechs that have some mobility to them. I like the 55 tonners that move 585. Those are a good compromise, I think, between toughness and mobility. We've got 5s on the Phoenix Hawk. We'll go ahead and take all of those. That puts us at 4 heat. Alright, the Phoenix Hawk missing us on 11s. The Clint at the Phoenix Hawk hitting it in the right arm, the right torso, and the left leg. Down to 13 armor on the torso, 10 on the leg, down to 5 on that arm. The Assassin hitting our Clint in the left arm with a medium laser, down to 1 armor there. Now see, the Clint is a good example of what not to do with a 40 tonner. It just has that one big gun, and it's just lacking everything else. It doesn't have enough mobility, it doesn't have enough armor. About the only thing it has enough of is heat sinks, and that's because autocannons run so cool. Let's see, our Cronus missing the large laser with snake eyes, but hitting with all 3 mediums to the right arm, left torso, and right leg. That right arm is down to 0. Small laser to the right arm, critting on his large laser, so he's going to have fewer heat management problems after this. Get a CDA. Oh, a cicada? I'm not a fan of the cicada either. It's, if anything, too fast for its weight class. It doesn't have enough armor or guns. If I wanted a cicada, I'd rather have a locust, which is basically the same thing, but for half the battle value. I mentioned exactly what it should have: a big gun. What, the cicada? Or the Clint? The Clint has a big gun, it just doesn't do enough damage. I like the large laser variant of the Clint. I think it's called the Denton. It does more damage and it has almost the same heat range profile. So yeah, let's see if we can finish off this Phoenix Hawk in another turn or two. The Clint. It has too much of a big gun though. Hollander 2 then, or maybe an SCB. I'm familiar with the Hollander 1. I'm not familiar with the Hollander 2. I'm not sure what an SCB is. Is there a mech called the Scarab, maybe? We'll kick him on a 6? Yeah, we'll kick him on a 6. The assassin misses a kick on the Clint. The Clint punching the assassin in the head. Cronus missing a kick, but does not fall down. The assassin did miss a kick and does fall down. Takes 4 to the right arm. Needs a 7 to avoid damage. Gets a 9. Scarab, SCB 9A. Okay, one I'm not familiar with. So our Cronus is at 4 heat, the Phoenix Hawk is at 6, but he's going to have no large laser after this, and he's about to have no medium laser on that side too. We have thoroughly lost the initiative with a 3, but at least we're going after our tech. We're at 100% still, the enemy are at 84%, our tech is at 97%. The assassin did not. He ran 0 hexes. I mean, if he's gonna do that, that assassin doesn't have enough armor, I don't think, to not be evasive. Okay, so he needs a 9 to get up, gets a 5, takes 4 to the leg, needs a 5 to stay conscious, needs a 9 to get up, takes 4 to the center torso, needs a 9 to avoid damage, and a 7 to stay conscious. Needs a 9 to get up, rolls a 4, takes 4 to the right torso, needs a 9 to avoid damage, needs a 10 to stay conscious. And finally needs a 9 to stand up and gets the 9. That's why he was not evasive. He spent all of his movement points trying to stand up. And we are going to make him suffer for it. Or we're going to try. We need 10s. We'll skip one of the mediums so that we can do everything else. I really thought we were going to have better than 10s. Or I wouldn't have, I probably would have stayed up north with those other guys. The Clint missing 2 medium lasers and an autocannon 5 on 9s and 10s. The Sentinel missing on 11s and 10s. The Phoenix Hawk missing on 10s. Cronus on 10s, missing with everything. So no shots landed this turn. Can we kick him on an 8? We would only need a 4 or better to stay standing if we miss. We might be able to knock him down. Clint punches the Phoenix Hawk on an 11 and misses. The Phoenix Hawk kicks the Clint in the left leg for 9, going internal and critting on his lower leg. And we missed our kick on an 8. We need a 4 to stay standing. The Clint needs a pair of 7s and does not get them. The second one only gets a 4. Takes 4 to the left torso. 2 armor remaining. Needs a 7 to avoid damage. Alright, with a busted leg actuator, he's now a 5.86 movement profile, which is... and he's not going to be able to jump this turn because he's going to have to spend it getting up. The Phoenix Hawk is down to 4 heat. Things are not looking great. We've won initiative. Looks like the Clint finally stood up. The Phoenix Hawk if we stand still, we can hit the Phoenix Hawk in his left side with everything. Jumped for a TMM of 2. Sentinel ran 1. The Assassin jumped 7. Yeah, we're not in any great danger where we're at. Let's go ahead and stand still, take a cooldown turn. Needs a 7, gets a 7 to get up. Oh yeah, we've got 5s. We'll take everything, please and thank you. That puts us at 1 heat. The Sentinel missing on 9s, 8s, and 12s. The Phoenix Hawk hitting on a 10 to the center torso, down to 6 armor there. Clint at the Sentinel, hitting it in the with a medium laser to the center torso, down to 7 armor there. And the autocannon to the right torso. The Cronus at the Phoenix Hawk, missing with the large laser again, on a 5, gets a 3. Medium lasers to the left torso, left arm, and left torso. Small lasers to the left arm and left arm. SRMs to the right torso and head. Needs a 3 to stay conscious. 20 plus damage, needs a 6 to stay standing, gets a 4, takes 5 to the left leg. Needs a 6 to avoid damage, needs a 5 to stay conscious, gets an 8. And we can still punch him on a 6. We got him in the left arm, which is now destroyed, leaving him with 1 medium laser and 1 machine gun. Transferring into the left torso for 1 armor remaining. So the Phoenix Hawk is now only really capable of kicking. This is major, is big deal. We've lost initiative going into round 6. We are in fact going first. We're at 100%, the Draconis Combine is down to 72%, and our tech is at 85%. And we are going to jump into these heavy woods, and we're going to turn our back on the Assassin because he doesn't worry us. Because we've got more than 5 armor in the back, and his big gun is a medium laser. The Phoenix Hawk is prone. What happened? Oh yeah, we knocked him down with 20 plus damage. Outside of visual range, not in our arc. So we've got nothing this turn. Everyone misses on 9s and 11s. The Clint missing on 6s and 7s. Everyone's cooled down. We've lost initiative again, but at least our tech is going ahead of us. Now I think it's time to turn on our searchlight so that we don't have that problem again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's going to be short range for the large laser and medium range for everything else if we don't do anything. Go ahead and do that. Assassin flees the battlefield. I didn't even realize he was in forced withdrawal. And now that he's gone, we can't pull up his stats. I don't know why he fled the battlefield. He wasn't that badly damaged, was he? Alright, so we've got 3s and 5s on the Phoenix Hawk. Alright, the Clint hits the Phoenix Hawk in the right torso with a medium laser. The Sentinel hits the Clint in the left torso with the autocannon, critting on the medium laser and the jump jet, so he's now a 585. We hit the Phoenix Hawk in the right leg with a large laser, medium laser to the right arm, transferring into the right torso. SRM 4 hits with 3, one of them to the head, forcing his 3rd consciousness check. He needs a 7 to stay conscious and gets a 5 and goes unconscious. SRM's also to the right leg and right torso, down to 1 armor on that torso and 0 on the leg. The Phoenix Hawk landing a machine gun to the Clint's center torso, down to 4 armor there. Phoenix Hawk falls down, takes 5 to the center torso, and his 4th consciousness hit. Physical attacks? I don't think we can actually do anything. Clint kicks the Phoenix Hawk in the right leg, down to 3 structure there. And he's still unconscious. We've finally won initiative, but we're still going after or before the tech. So it's going to be them, us, them, us. Alright. We could DFA the Sentinel. He's a 5/6, we're a 2/4, so that would be a -2 to the difficulty. We've got plenty of armor on our legs. We would need a 1 to hit. We would deal 17 points of damage to his rear. We would take 11 points of damage to the legs. We would also have to make a heck of a piloting check to stay standing and try to displace him. Or we could just start wailing on the Sentinel, which is already kind of damaged across the torso. Yeah, we're gonna stand still. We need 5s and 5s and 4s. Wait. 5, 2 for gunnery, plus 4 is 6, -1 because he sprinted. 5. Okay, -3 eliminated by searchlight. So that's actually going to be 2s and 4s. Alright, we got him in the right arm with the large laser. We got him with medium lasers to the right leg and right torso and left leg. We've got 3 SRMs to the right leg, center torso, and right torso going internal. Is that where he keeps his ammo by any chance? Yes, he does keep ammo in that right torso. And it's not very well padded out. The Clint also hits the Sentinel in the center torso with a medium laser, so he is stripped across there. We got no physical attacks. The Clint kicks the Sentinel in the center torso for 8. He's down to 4 structure there. Phoenix Hawk pilot needs a 10 to wake up, gets the 10. He is now conscious. Is he going to eject? Or is he going to flee? They're down to 31% of their forces. We're still at 100% and our ally is at 71. Oh yeah, he ejected. We're going to jump and we're going to finish off this. Oh. Sentinel tried to stand up and fell, took just enough damage to his center torso to destroy him. So he didn't eject. He tried to get up and failed. Phoenix Hawk also tried to get up and failed, taking 5 to the left leg, leaving him with 0 armor. Needs a 9 to avoid damage, gets an 8. That takes his 5th consciousness check. Needs an 11 to stay conscious, gets an 8. I think we're just going to call a victory here. I mean, best case scenario, he wakes up and we're trying to shoot him in the head. Yep, we got him in the head. We needed a 6, we got a 7. Hit aimed location, which is a 7+. 8 damage to the head, destroying his cockpit. So yeah, that is Phoenix Hawk on the board, if we wanted it. We did only get 1 kill because the assassin fled and the Sentinel destroyed himself. We absolutely did control the battlefield. We didn't take any damage whatsoever. Did not get hurt. We're going to take the Phoenix Hawk. Might as well take the Sentinel as well, because otherwise the employer's just going to keep it. Tasky Salcho, the Phoenix Hawk pilot, is captured, not an option. Oh no, captured is not an option. We headshotted him. I was like, he only had 5 hits. He had 5 hits and then we shot him in the head. Pilot of the Sentinel apparently woke up and got away. The Sentinel killed himself. Phoenix Hawk was killed by us. Check all potential rewards. Star League Mech. I wonder what mech it is. Cronus, Sentinel, Phoenix Hawk, and Clint have been added to the unit roster. Clint 23T. This is our Star League era mech that we got. Is it Clint? After everything I was just saying about how much I don't like the Clint, that 696 movement profile is just not fast enough for 72 armor points. And 15 points of damage output is not great for a 40 tonner. Well, let's see what we can do with that. The Phoenix Hawk, we need to assign a tech. Actually, we're going to set double maintenance time. Let's see who we can assign now. That'll go to Halima, I think. Let's see, the Clint, we're going to put that in the... Oh, let's see what we've got here. We've got the Denton, which is the one that I was talking about before that I like, which I believe is a large laser refit. Yeah, adds 4 heat sinks, upgrades the autocannon 5 to a large laser, keeps the armor the same though. Let's see, what's this one? This one is also a large laser, but instead of heat sinks, it adds armor. It does have to trade off between the large laser at long range and the medium lasers at close range, but it's a lot more survivable. Like almost 60 points more, or more than 60 points more survivable. Which is pretty big, I feel like. That's almost a 100% increase in armor. But it's not my favorite one. The 1-2R has no jump jets, but upgrades to an autocannon 10, not interested. The 2-4T, autocannon 2s, that's even worse. This one is a lot better. It has the max armor, it has the double heat sinks, it has the large laser. That might be the one we're going for. The 2-3 Kevin, which appears to be identical with the double heat sinks, the max armor, and the large laser. And what is the difference here? Oh, the armor distribution. The Kevin has more rear armor. We've got a ferrofibrous version, which adds a medium laser. We got the KDM3 XL, which has the XL engine and double heat sinks and quite a lot of more guns. It has 4 medium lasers and a large. But that XL engine and the 3 Aegis, which has 11 double heat sinks, endo steel, 4 lasers altogether, max armor. I think we're going to start with the KDM2, that double heatsink upgrade that we're so much in love with. And yeah, I'll take a large laser and 2 mediums over an autocannon 5 and 2 mediums, provided I've got enough heatsinks. It has 18 and 5, 16 and 4, 16 and 7, 14 and 6. Yeah, I like the more back armor. It's more evenly distributed, which I like. Twice as much armor, more than twice as much leg armor, twice as much torso armor in most cases, half again as much armor in the back. Yeah, I think this is the upgrade that we're going with, even if it is 8,000 minutes. And we'll have... There's a green tech that's not doing anything. We'll have Salmon do that, I guess. Let's see, the Sentinel, we don't need to assign anyone to that. Oh yeah, we've got our green arrow attacks. You know what, I just want those off of the list. We'll go there, and there, there, there. What just happened there? Failed to fix it twice. Okay, but didn't break anything on 7s. Oh, those must have been in worse quality. Alright, so we've got the Cronus, just needs a quick reload. We'll have Ratnabala do that. We've still got the hatchet there. We've still got the cockpit there. The Sentinel is salvaged. The Phoenix Hawk needs a lot of work. All double heat sinks all the time. Yes, indeed. That is the plan. That's how I like to roll. Alright, so the right torso, left torso, which is in even worse shape. The right leg is in rough shape. The left leg, which is not too bad off. Let's see. Actuator, we can have that pulled by a green tech. How do we not have any left arms? Alright, the sensors should come part and parcel with the head that we're going to put on here. Speaking of which, we'll have Chris do that on a 6 or better, hopefully. We can have a regular tech salvage this machine gun so we can working on the arm. We can have a regular tech work on this right torso on a 4, nice. And the left leg. And the Cito can work on that on a 4. Right leg is going to need a veteran, I think. We've got B. We might even need an elite for that. Ouch. 5s is not good. I don't want to have to pull the leg. But we don't have any elite techs available, so I guess B it is. Unless Veronica. We can make her an internal specialist. That would help a lot. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go special abilities. We're gonna go. Oh, internal is 40 points, so we might as well just wait until we become elite. Dang, I was hoping that was 20. I don't want to take the risk on a 5. I don't want to have to. You know what? Well, we're going to anyways. Otherwise, we're never gonna get this thing done. There's too much work that needs to be done by elites. Alright, can we get some armor on this bad boy now? Fred Modry, can we start on that? Alright, so that is everything except the internals and the parts that need to be replaced. Some of which will be done tomorrow. Let's see, we've still got the Sentinel, which is in remarkably solid shape considering it's utterly destroyed. Being that the head is intact, the left torso is barely damaged, the left arm is not damaged. The only internal damage besides the center torso is to that right torso. So we'll have Tamalika, no? We'll have V do the armor on this thing, just so that she can get some XP because I like her. Yeah, we'll just do everything at ×4. We're not in any rush. We'll have our green techs working on actuators. We'll have a veteran working on the cockpit. Ethan Labrie can start on that ammo bin. And I guess, wait, it seriously has 2 tons of ammo for that autocannon? That's a little much. I'll have Ogiko do this one. We'll have, I guess, Arnita do this one. Life support and the sensors are coming out with the head. The actuators, I'm waiting for some green text to do those. So yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of stuff happening tomorrow. Yes, unmaintained units. Alright, we finally got the fusion engine out of the Lightning. We're still working on the fire control system on the Saber. Let me check on that Lightning real quick. Regular tech arrow with 45 minutes. We'll start on this medium laser on a 6. Have our green techs, you know what, just working on 8s. Why not? 11? No, that's ridiculous. Alright, the hatchet is still an issue. The sentinel. Wait, let's do it this way. We got the cockpit and the archer, nice. We got the heatsink and the SRM2. We failed to get the small laser out. We got the ammo bin. Still working on the cockpit. We did fix the right leg on the Phoenix Hawk. We replaced the head on the Phoenix Hawk. Grasshopper is down to 2,500 minutes left. And the Clint is going to be 7,200 minutes. That's 15 days for anyone who's counting. We did find 3 left arms, one of which will be delivered tomorrow. Nice. I'm sorry, we found 5 left arms. And yeah, 2 of them will be here tomorrow. Everything else is going to be another day. Anything else I can have you do it? You know what? We can go ahead and start on this end. Probably going to break it, but that's okay. Right, small laser. That's going to be a regular tech. We'll have Kazuko do that. Actuators. Not mean to do that. Navala do that. Shada do that. Navala can do that one. Ethan can do that one. You know what? I guess we can have Big Knock, or actually, who do we want to really cram some XP in? I'm thinking Veronica. 1, we can change that to normal so they're 4s. Actually, we could go even one further than that. We could go a rush job. Try to knock them all out in one day. I don't think she's gonna quite be able. No, not with dice like those. Okay, well that's not going well. The Phoenix Hawk. We have an elite tech. We've got Penny. Do this one on a 4. Go ahead and get started on that. It's gonna be a while though. Helena can do that on a 5, hopefully, in 2 tries. We've got B can start on the cockpit. waiting on one of our elite techs for this right arm. Is that everything? I think it is. Hatchet we're not gonna have. The Sentinel is still coming apart. And the Phoenix Hawk still coming together. Still needs both arms and the left torso put back together. Moving on to Monday. Personnel market updated. Okay, what have we got here? We've got a motorized rifle platoon. I don't think we're super interested in a foot platoon, but let me check. We've got, actually, yeah, we've already got a laser foot platoon and a light rifle foot platoon. We've got a rifle jump platoon. We're not super interested in a motorized rifle. Wait, motorized. We didn't look at the motorized. Mechanized and motorized. We've got motorized machine gun. Yeah, we're good on infantry for now. Maintenance on the logger mech. Moving up. So that's being taken care of very well. The von Luckner. Also trending upwards. Medium laser still coming out of the lightning. Fire control still coming out of the lightning. Fire control still coming out of the saber. Fusion engine on the lightning still being worked on. Fire control system on the lightning being worked on. We've got the cockpit out of the Sentinel. We've got the upper arm actuator out of the Sentinel. Lower arm, hand, and lower leg actuators out of the Sentinel. The Phoenix Hawk's left torso is going to be a little bit. The cockpit on the Phoenix Hawk is going to be a little bit. The Grasshopper's down to 2,000 minutes. Clint is down to under 7,000 minutes. New scenario recon will occur on the 9th. Okay. Conduct detailed scans on all enemy units present on the battlefield. House officer will deploy alongside your units, keep them alive. Scan the following enemy units and forces. Primary op 4 is 4 units. Scans may be conducted by moving a unit within 3 hexes of the target and foregoing all attacks. We don't have any kind of probe, improved sensors, or sensor geek. This unit objective should be tracked manually outside of MegaMek. Preserve 100% of the house officer. Preserve 50% of our combined forces. Oh, QRF is what they want me to throw into this. Yeah, maybe. What have we got in our QRF again? Uh, 4 APCs. Including a tracked LRM, which moves 6-9, a hover LRM, which moves 10-15, a tracked SRM moves 6-9, heavy tracked APC moves 5-8. Yeah, these guys don't have enough armor to see any real combat, but for a recon mission, I don't know, that's a Jenner and a Blackjack. That could be very problematic. That's a lot of medium lasers on the field. And the Pegasus, I think, sensors unit, medium laser to SRM4s. Yeah. This is gonna be... I don't know why our QRF deployed for that. Send in the Steiner recon. Well, it's not until the 9th. For one thing. For another, I mean, our battle value is 753. Theirs is almost 3,000. So they've got us by a factor of 4 or so. What's our house officer looking like? Oh, a griffin. Well, hopefully they spend all of their time attacking the griffin and we're able to scoot around and just, yeah, yeah, if all we're trying to do is recon them, we might be able to pull that off. And that happens on the 9th, so we've got 5 days. Archer's not going anywhere. These are all going to be ×4 things. Let's see, that was Veronica? Yeah, Veronica was trying to get some XP. That. We can actually have our regulars getting some XP doing salvage jobs. Red Modry can do this on 3. Nice. Very good. Chris can get started on this right arm on a 6. What have we got in the way of arrow tech? So we've got nothing. Alright, failed to salvage the medium laser out of the lightning. Still working on fire control, fusion engine, fire control, left torso. We got the right arm on the Phoenix Hawk, and Chris earned an XP for that. B replaced the cockpit on the Phoenix Hawk, did not earn an XP for that, unfortunately. Grasshopper is down to 4 days. The Clint is down to, what, 13 something? 9, that's kind of pointless. But if it's the only thing we've got, might as well. Lena can put the armor on here, or tried. Oh, cost her an edge to keep from breaking the armor. I will have Tamalika do that. Red Modry can put the large laser in. Veronica Hurst can put in a medium. Got a bunch of actuators that need to be replaced now. We'll have green and regular text doing those. Not repair. Anytime you see repair actuator, that's always going to be significantly more difficult than replacing an actuator. Like something you want a veteran working on, not a green tech. Let's see, a machine gun. We can have Denise work on that. We need an upper arm actuator. We're actually going to need multiples of those, I think. We'll go ahead and order 5 of them. Would have ordered more if I'd realized I needed them. Alright, so this is coming along. Still the 5th, so we're not in that much of a rush. Moving on to the 6th. 19 units, yes I know. Maintenance on the Wolverine 6M Mark II, trending upwards. I'm seeing an E that turned into a D, that's good. I'm still seeing some D's and E's over here. I'm also seeing some A's and B's. Maintenance on the Slayer, also seeing A's and B's, I like it. Still working on these fighters. We fixed the left torso on the Phoenix Hawk. We got the hand actuator replaced. Grasshopper's going to be 2.5 more days. We've got these upper arm actuators being delivered in 1 and 2 and 3 days. So what else can we do right now? We've got left arm, that's going to be Chris's job. That's really all we can do right now. Yeah, this is all left arm stuff. Medium laser machine gun, actuators, left arm, armor. Yeah. Alright, moving on to the 7th. Failed to get the fire control system out of the lightning. I am about to sell those things, just be done with it. Maintenance on the transgressor. Alright, I'm seeing some green, but no red. 3 upper arm actuators have all arrived. We got the left arm on the Phoenix Hawk, and the Grasshopper will be done day after tomorrow. Fred Modry can put in this laser. B can put in the machine gun. Got actuators that we need. We can replace those. Shada is now 1 XP from being a regular. Ethan 2. Ranabala still only 4 XP. And we've got Malika can knock out the armor. Try to. Halima can follow that up. Yes, barely. Alright. Now that we've got the let's go ahead and organize these guys the way I like them. Finally, here, 8 minutes from the end of the stream. Status, we want details. We want by name, by weight, and by type. And we were looking for a 45 tonner. There we go. What do we do with this thing actually? I mean, I like Phoenix Hawks, but they tune really well as well. This one, for example, just drops half a ton of machine gun ammo and replaces it with armor. Specifically, it looks like leg armor and head armor, which stock Phoenix Hawk 1 cannot take a PPC to the head, which is a glaring oversight in my opinion. So yeah, we'll go ahead and start on that. That'll be like a day or two. We'll have, you know what? Only do that maybe. It's only, what, 2 days? Or 4 days or 3 days, depending on how the roll goes. We'll find out tomorrow. Needed, what was it, a 9+? Is there anything else we needed to do before we advance the day? The repair bay? No? Okay. Got some parts in, still working on these fighters. We've got the Grasshopper done tomorrow, we've got the Phoenix Hawk done tomorrow. Even though she used an edge to reroll, she only got a 2 after the reroll. And the Clint is going to be another 10 days. Alright. That's it for the repair bay, I think, right? Yeah, that's it for the repair bay. That's it for the infirmary is all set. The warehouse? Yeah, we've got some stuff we need fixing in the warehouse before we advance the day again. Fred Modry can do that on a 3. Machine gun, we can have one of our mechanics do that. Where's Doodle? Doodles do that on a 1 and a right torso. Have Chris do that on a 2. Alright, so that should be everything up until tomorrow. Oh, need to, what? Doesn't auto deploy? Alright, we'll send the QRF. I'm mean, we could send some field gunners to help them out. Rescue and recovery, we could send our tank detachment. That might be overkill. We can send some air support. Alright, scenario recon is today. Deploy a force. We will do that probably next week, because I don't think I can finish that mission in 4 minutes, which is all the time I have left for tonight. We do have maintenance on the Stalker. Hopefully those double heat sinks aren't going down still. Seeing an E on the head, that's not great. I'm seeing an F on a double heat sink, as well as an E. Yeah, this Stalker has seen better days, but it's getting there. Maintenance on lightning. Oh yeah, that's just gonna make it more difficult. We might as well just sell this thing. $34,000 sea bills. Yeah, okay, so we made a couple 100,000. We're getting rid of those. Carpathize, hey! Have a great night, thanks for the stream. I'm gonna leave the tab open, I'm going AFK and probably won't make it back in time to catch the end of the stream. Yeah, actually, unless you're only gone for a minute, you will miss the end of the stream, because it is rapidly approaching. Grasshopper is complete, the Phoenix Hawk is complete, the Clint is going to be another 10 days. Alright, let's check out this Grasshopper. I don't actually remember. Also, we want to mothball the Phoenix Hawk, Mark II. That can be Ethan doing that. Alright, Grasshopper Mark II with double heat sinks, 464, nearly max armor, 4 medium laser, 3 large lasers. So I made a flashman. Still, it's 3 large lasers, that's 24 heat. It can do that all day long and jump. Throw in a medium laser and it can do that almost all day long. Or it can fire all 4 medium lasers, that's 12. Plus 2 larges is 16, so that's 28, and jump, that's 32. So yeah, it can fire everything but 1 large laser and jump and only build up 2 heat. This is actually not a bad design, if I don't say so myself. So that said, it still is going to have to go into mothballs for right now, because we don't have anyone to maintain it. Right. Field Gunners AC-20, these are not part of a force. Add unit, infantry, Field Gunners AC-20. Okay. What else have we got in here? We've got, oh yeah, printed it in the Archer. That is not a thing. So I think I want to take these guys and put them over here. Rearrange these so they're in order. Okay, so now our heavy field gunners are 20, 20, 20, 10. Our medium field gunners are 10, 10, 10, 5, and the light field gunners are 5, 5, 5, 2. Alright, everything's been mothballed that needs to be mothballed. The only thing that's being customized right now is that Clint. The only thing being fixed right now is the Archer with the hatchet that we haven't got. Let's go ahead, we'll save our campaign here. And yeah, we will pick up on this first thing next week. we'll start this recon mission, and hopefully we don't lose our entire QRF. So, thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, subscribe, join the community, be a part of the Discord. Link is in my bio. Thank you again, everyone, for joining me. It's been great having so much reciprocality. And I hope everyone has a good night and a good weekend and a good week, and we will see you next time. Alright, congratulations again, and we'll see you next week. And if Gribbly is still around, we still need to talk about that Star League game. But unfortunately, now's not the best time, so tomorrow should be better, if you're still here. If not, well, I guess I'll catch you on the Discord. See y'all later.